You ask a lot of questions. First, you want to know why there's no mirrors in the house, and then you want to know about the scar in my throat. And no, it's not a tracheotomy scar. So, how did I get it? Well, it started in the spring when I removed my winter beard and had to start shaving again. I was out of the habit and out of practice, but hey, it's like riding a bike and a few other things. You may not shave for a year, but you still know how. It was on the second or third day I noticed the dark spot on the bathroom mirror. It was more like a smudge, really, a shadow hovering above my right shoulder. I thought something was on the surface of the mirror, so I tried to wipe it off with a rag, but it was still there. A trick of the light? Hey, I didn't know, but I could see to shave. I could still see to shave, so I forgot all about it. It was several days later when I noticed, with a start, that the dark area had grown larger. In fact, it had doubled in size. Since I couldn't clean it off, I tried to ignore it. But it didn't ignore me. It was on a morning when I cut myself rather badly that I realized the dark area now resembled the shadow of a human head. Was it my shadow? I turned off the bathroom lights, but the dark spot was still there. I opened the blinds. Still there. I closed them. Still there. Obviously not a shadow then. I tended to my cut, and then I went and got some Windex and proceeded to clean the mirror. But not only did the dark spot remain, it seemed it was larger. It was larger. It was also more distinctive, and I could now see the outline of a thin, dark head. Now, this is interesting, I told myself. I'm going to observe this and see what transpires. I live alone, so there was no one who I could show the floating head to. And I didn't want to tell anybody at work, lest they think I was crazy or something. In fact, I wouldn't be telling you now, except for, Anyway, before that happened, I did come close to telling a few friends about it, telling them about the floating head. But every time I was on the verge of speaking up, somehow I couldn't bring myself to do it. Something paranormal, something supernatural was happening to me. And I wanted to see how it would pan out, to see how I might explain it before taking anyone into my confidence. And so it was that every morning when I went to shave, and every time I returned home from work, and at night before bed, I went and checked the mirror. Slowly the image of a man began to appear, a thin, dark man with a pinched, acne-scarred face and reddish eyes. But just a head, no visible body, just a detached, evil-looking head, hovering, slightly blurred and somewhat indistinct in the mirror. And then finally one morning, the final morning, the head, came into focus, and I could see it as clearly as I could see my own face. And I could see it was regarding me with intelligent malevolence, regarding me with hatred. And then I made a colossal mistake. I made eye contact. I looked into those two red evil eyes. Immediately, I had the mental image of a razor or a knife cutting a human throat, and at the same time, I heard a voice in my head say, "Die. Die. Why don't you die? Die!" Then, like a zombie, I staggered from the bathroom, then down the hall to the kitchen. I found the carving knife in the drawer where I kept similar utensils, and then I went back down the hall to the bathroom. The face in the mirror was still there, except now it was smiling. Again, I had a mental image of a knife, my knife, moving across my throat and slicing it open. As my hand drew the knife across my throat, slicing it open, the blood poured down the front of my shirt and began pooling in the sink, and I came out of my trance. What the hell are you doing?" I said to myself as I looked up at the face in the mirror, and it was laughing at me. I was bleeding very badly, and I was afraid I was going to pass out from loss of blood. I stumbled from the bathroom to get help, leaving a trail of blood across the carpet. I didn't waste any time trying to call 911. I wasn't sure I could actually talk, but there was a construction crew working down the street, and I ran to them, reaching them just as I passed out. As you can see, I survived, albeit with this ugly scar in my throat. Fortunately for me, I didn't manage to slice open any veins or arteries. Of course, I had to tell them about the face, the floating head, and they sent me for psychological counseling. But not before they examined the mirror closely. There was no face, they told me. It was just a hallucination, all in my head, they told me. I had to accept it, of course. But still, the day came when it was time for me to go home, and the first thing I did was go into the bathroom and look in the mirror. And I saw the dark spot. It was more like a smudge, really, a shadow hovering above my right shoulder, something you could wipe off with a rag. I smashed the mirror into a million tiny pieces. 7 years bad luck be damned. I then smashed every mirror in the house, for in all of them I could see a dark spot, a smudge. So, nowadays, the only place I'm truly vulnerable is in the car, for there is a dark spot, a smudge, in the corner of the rear view and in the corner of the side mirror. And one of these days, I'm afraid that I will see in these mirrors a face, the face of a thin, dark man, pinched, acne-scarred, the reddish eyes glowing with intelligent malevolence, and I will make a mistake. I will make eye contact, and he will order me to crash. Oh God. Oh God. Please don't let me hurt anyone. Maybe I should start taking the bus. The moral of the story: men with beards tend to avoid close shaves. If this is your first visit to my channel, please consider subscribing. My name is Warren, and I write and tell original ghost stories and original horror stories featuring such cryptids as the Night Floaters, werewolves, and the Black-Eyed Children. So again, please consider subscribing. Please help me to reach my goal of 2,021 subs in 2021. Till midnight. Cheers. Images used in today's video, courtesy of Pix Here. That's PX Here. While the music was that classic Ghost Story by that patron of the internet, Kevin MacLeod.